Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxchair, on the show this evening. It's Albert in Southside. Evening, Albert.
Evening, mate. How are you to?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Southside.
Aye, good evening. Good to be on the night with Albert and your good self. And I'll give a shout out to the troops on the YouTube feed. There's a few of them in already, so say good evening to them and everybody else that's listening. Hello, how are you? Hope you're all good.
I'll give a shout out to all my friends and family that I ignored yesterday. Right. Will we get the jovial part out of the way first, or we go to the serious stuff? What do you want to do, Albert? You choose.
Whatever you want, mate. I'm not caring. I just do what you want to do, mate.
All right.
What's the jovial stuff?
Unlucky, big man.
Oh, aye.
Sorry, somebody say something there.
Unlucky, big man. Unlucky. That's all I'm saying, yeah.
Aye.
Leaving it at that.
It gets worse, Albert. He thought that the team that he had get beat and they actually won. He just found out at the tea time at outside.
Aye, after Newcastle, I just lost heart and desire after that.
Aye, 5 out of 6. Mate, I think he had 5 out of 6 at half time, mate. Yeah, good effort. Unlucky, mate. That is hitting the barn, mate. Unlucky, yeah. But anyway, right. That's the jovial stuff out the way, Albert. That's the good news.
Now, for Cooper's doing that. That's the good news for Cooper's doing.
Aye, look, we've drawn a game of football, but it doesn't feel like that, right? Albert.
That's what we did. We drew a game of football, mate. I mean, I've been listening to some of the podcasts and I've been listening to some of the guys that I know and all going after nut. And you're sitting to say to yourself, I don't think we get beat, did we? Did I miss something? Did we actually get beat? It says they've lost 5, the last 6 points, they've lost 5 and we've lost 4, but we're all going after nut. 2-0 up, mate. You should see the game. That's obvious. Everybody knows that. It's just one of these things, but need to find a solution for what happened. Honestly, mate, because it was astonishing. It really was. You watched in the first half, you're saying to yourself, oof, coasting this, absolutely coasting it, mate. And then all of a sudden come out the second half and it's what it is, isn't it? But no, I'm not entirely upset, mate. I'm upset at the second half, obviously, everybody else, but not the first half.
No, you couldn't be, mate. You couldn't be. So you said, was it a mirror in the game at Parkhead done away about? That makes sense.
Aye, probably. Probably when we were up there the last time at Parkhead and we came in the half-time 1-0 done and we were poor. We'd only created a couple of chances, but if it hadn't been for Jack Butland that first half and a bit of luck, we'd have been more than 1 done, get into the half-time. And then we came out the second half, we changed it. Brought in Diamondi and that, changed the game for us and we went out and won. Listen, the players that are responsible for this. The players are responsible. You can have a go at the manager if you want. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You could argue a sub here or there, maybe. Or we only made 2 substitutions, but...
Is that hindsight, mate? Is that hindsight?
Well, it was, because at half-time in the concourse, the whole place was bouncing yesterday and nobody was complaining about anything about Danny Rowe. We absolutely battered them. The whole first half, physically done them as well, bullied them off the park. Second half, the players are responsible for the mode and what they went on to the second half. I mean, some of them went through the motions. 1 or 2 tired towards the end, and you could maybe have said change it, but then you've got to look at your bench and see what you're changing it to. And I think that's the problem. We don't have players that can come into that midfield and probably put their foot in the ball and take control of a game. we had our sort of strongest midfield three that we've got. Is Diamandi, who came on, as he done, to try and stem the tide a bit in the second half because we're losing the midfield. Big Tushy probably tired, and Raskin probably had ran his race and all at times. And we only had Diamandi. You weren't going to bring Asgard on again like that when you need legs and you needed running a bit. But listen, we dropped to 2 points. We shouldn't have. We should have got out of Ibrox with the 3 points yesterday, but we never. But for me, it's down to the players. The players' attitude second half. They're the ones that set the tempo. They're the ones that should be competing. And in the second half, we lost every second ball. But any ball that broke, it fell to them. And they were on the attack, and we sat too deep. Then we had players doing some mad things for our goalkeeper, who was kicking the ball out the park, to John Suter, who was lumping it out the park. And just things were just happening out of the park. And I think, what is going on here? We don't have the experience, Hawks, to take control of a game. We don't have it in certain areas of the park to take control and manage these players. And players that you think might have been able to take control and help other players, just you can see they're not capable of doing it, and that's just a fact.
All right, we'll go back and we'll take the good half first. Albert, we came out the traps. We were getting them doing both things, but particularly the left-hand side, mate. Yeah, we were causing them all sorts of problems. And then there's a moment where Olsen does it again, mate. He just keeps it simple. I know he didn't flatter maybe yesterday, maybe the right word, but he still just keeps it simple, puts a ball in, and describe it next. I'll go to Albert first. He's seen it face on, because I know where he sits, and then south side, I know where he sits. He's got the other view for it. And it'll be a goal that will be talked about for a long, long time, mate. What a goal. Albert.
Oh, I mean, the wee touch by Olsen. You see his class, mate. He just takes it to the two Celtic players and then just knocks it to the left and then crosses his right foot. But the goal itself, I mean, everybody, you were watch it, but everybody's gobsmacked, mate. Totally gobsmacked. What a goal! But it was, you're sitting saying to yourself, I don't believe I actually seen that there. It was, mate. It was fantastic. But it's a shame we didn't win the game just for that goal alone. But it'll be talked about certainly. Well, it's one of the best, if not the best, old firm goal I've seen. You know what I mean? It's there's some beauties. I've seen some beauties, but I mean that was a bit special. That really was special, mate. Anybody who thinks the guy's a big donkey needs to have their head look, mate. Honestly, God. Oh, he doesn't do enough. 2 goals every time we play them will do me, mate. That'll do me.
I don't know if it was a roar that went up, Paul Bear, or a gasp.
Oh, I tell you. There's a guy in front of me, his mouth was just open. He couldn't even cheer, mate. He just couldn't believe what he watched. But it was some goal. It was really some goal. You'll come on to your second, we'll talk about. But that, I don't know how you just looked at it, but I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And you say to yourself, I didn't think he was capable of that. This big guy's capable of things that you can't imagine. Yeah, he can do some crazy things. It's just one of the things, but come on, that was class. That is sheer class.
It doesn't come off all the time, mate. That's, I don't know, 1 in 100, but spectacular. The cross, the height, the accuracy, he's caught his feet, everything. Southside.
Well, it's got an overhead kick. That's the way to do it. When Scove Olsen puts the ball across, the last thing you're thinking about is you're going to see him do a bicycle kick, overhead kick right in, and the power on it he generated on the ball as well. Zip past the goalkeeper. It was a top-class finish. We'd bullied him, obviously, at the corner, down near the corner flag to win the ball back, and then we managed to shift it across the area. And once Scove Olsen got that bit of pace and put it in, the big one certainly knew it. Him obviously an idea of what he was going to do, and he finished it with aplomb. It was some bicycle kick, it was some overhead kick, mate. Honestly, to see it, it was spectacular, and probably deserved it that time in the game. And it was a roar around about Ibrox, I think. It sounded as if the roar lasted for quite a bit, although we were jumping about and all that. The noise it created around about the stadium sounded really, really, really loud. And it certainly got everybody around about us and everybody in the stands up for it. But aye, tremendous finish, absolutely tremendous finish, and technique.
It's maybe once in a lifetime, mate. You don't do that, mate. You think of the frame, Rooney's won in the Premier League. You've got, was it Gareth Bale in the Champions League done one?
Yep.
There's not that many of them done like that and that pace, and it was a magnificent goal. And you're right, Southside. I think it was Romans and Moore that were involved, and we mugged them down. And, I think Romans got it, played it to Moore, and he went across the park and then played it across and went to Olsen. And then it went into that. As you said, Alberti kept it simple, put the cross in, and bang, goal. I agree with you. I was like, did I just see that and see when you seen it back again? It was even more. It was like, wow. Aye, so we get the goal, mate. We're 1-0 up. We're first star of the pitch, mate. It's wave after wave of attack. We thought maybe the goalie's not making a lot of saves, but the defending putting it for a corner, and then the ball comes in for the right again. I think you blew the ball. You just blew Albert just to move it away from that centre half. He miskicks it. There's no any real danger, I don't think, apart from that lunatic defender. And the big man does it again. Southside first. I mean, it's just all right. He goes and wins the ball back. Then he flicks it around him and then he just waits, holds his breath, and goes, there you go, 2-0. You're like, I just watched that. I know. Southside.
He was alert to it. I didn't give him a chance. The boy sort of sclaffs the first one, and then the defender stood and looking at it.
Look at that for a while.
And then he was alert to it, and then when he flicks it around him, I'm thinking, hopefully you're going to go on the end of this here. And the goalie comes out and he just sort of side fits it about outside his foot, just by him. And it felt like at the time you're watching it, the ball was going quite slow towards the line. It probably wasn't, but it felt like that once he just sort of knocked it by him. He didn't exactly hit it, and it sort of zipped in the net. He just sort of hit it by him outside his boot, and it felt like watching it was taking a while to get out of the line. But he was alert, and it was a good finish. They'll look at it as a bad goal they've lost, obviously, but he was in the box, he was there, and it was a good goal for us. It was at the right time, probably as well, to go 2-0 up in the game, because we were in it, but we weren't creating as much up until that point, although we were physical on them all over the park, and we were doing what we had today. But it was a good finish for the big one. And then I thought, if he's going to get a hat-trick today, but it looks like he's on course for that. That's what I was thinking at that time, Ox, when he made it 2-0.
I don't think you're alone in that. I just, what was going through my mind at that time, mate, was I was thinking back to which we'd watched with Richard, mate. I think it was the Mung game, and back at Christmas time, I think he fell on the ball, but then he does these two things, you're like, wow. And we used to say Dessers was an enigma. This guy's just a different level, isn't he?
This guy, he's a different player. He really is a different player. He's a lot better than Dessers, in my opinion. A lot better than Dessers. He's faster, stronger. He can hold plays off, and he has got an eye. He has got an eye for the goal. What you can see now. Whether he's going to be prolific, I don't think so. But when he scores goals, I mean, the 4 goals he scored against them, every one of them is different, and they're all cracking goals. But it was great. He flicks it out of that clown's head. I did it right back. He flicks it out. It just rips the piss right out of him, basically. Sorry for swearing, but I can't help it. And he flicks it by the keeper. He waits for the keeper and all, and he sees the keeper spreading himself. He just flicks it nonchalantly by him, his left-hand side. It was a cracking goal. I really, honestly, as Southside saying, you thought that's not going to cross the line. You thought the defender was going to get it. It's not crossing the line. Then you just see it trickling in. Nice goal, mate. Really nice goal. Well played by everybody. Capitalising on one of their mistakes. I mean, our centre-halves make mistakes all the time and seem to lose goals for mistakes. It was nice to see one of their centre-halves make a mistake and getting punished for it. But at that time we're on dreamland, mate. It was great. Playing well worth our lead. Well worth our lead.
Everybody's playing well. Everybody in the team's playing well, yeah?
Yep.
Southside?
Aye, everybody was doing their job, mate. We're physical on them. We're fullbacks were getting forward. Romans was getting up and down the park. Everything at that point was perfect. We were dominating them, to be honest. Sterling was playing well at right back. There weren't really any threats against us or anything like that. We were well in that game and well in toe box.
I say everybody was playing well, some better than others. I thought Mikey Moore, some of his touches, and Romans down the left-hand side. Everybody was well on top at first half, but they were the two that stood out for me. And if I get one criticism was, obviously you'd always like more goals, but I don't think when we were so on top, after we got the second goal, we didn't create enough. Yeah, played a lot of decent stuff and fast and winning balls and getting, but we had them by the throat, mate. Just it was a chance to get a third goal. I don't know what you were thinking.
I was thinking the exact same thing, but it's usual, mate. Certain players in the team start holding onto the ball too long. If you watch the first up to the goal scoring, the 2 goals, the boys flying about, zipping about for us. We're seeing the pass, playing the pass, we're moving, 1-2s, all over the place, mate. The boys moving well. Go 2-0 up, and all of a sudden, certain players decide to run with the ball and hold the ball too long, and inviting them to close you down. And as soon as they started closing you down, the chances started drying up again. That's what's up, mate. It's the same story in every game we play. Every game we play. Not some games, every game we play. And I'm screaming at a certain player all the time. Release the ball. Stop stealing people's space. Refuses. Doesn't he the first 20, 25, half an hour of the game we'll get 2-0 up. Then all of a sudden, I mean, it started before half time. Everybody's saying it was after half time. It started before half time when they started slowing the ball down, holding the ball, running with the ball, just keeping the ball too long. You're seeing passes, they're obvious passes. No, refuse to give them. Won't give the passes. Closing these 2 or 3 of them, closing their own players down. I mean, they're bringing the ball to the player. Instead of pass the ball to the player, they're running with the ball to the player. And you're closing your own players down and you're saying, release the ball. Why are you not releasing the ball? You did it in the first 25 minutes of the game and it was great. We absolutely destroyed them. No, we stopped doing it. Completely stopped doing it. And then we're going to the second half. I know you're going to go into the second half. But I meant to say, the pass of the match, for me, the whole match, was Big Nedry's pass to Rome's the first half, man. What a pass, mate. And watch that again, man. It's world class, I'm telling you. What a pass it was. It's on your side, the south side as well. You remember it?
Aye.
Perfect way.
That was a pass of the match for me, mate. I'm saying that's what a midfielder's supposed to do. Raskin, Giovanni, Barron, and who do you call him? Barjami. Look at that. Diamandi. Look at that. That's what we're expecting you to do. Time and time again. No, every now and again. And that's a big centre forward just doing it, showing you how it's done. It was perfect, mate. Absolutely perfect.
I thought he worked his socks off, mate. He never get any chances. Big
grafter, mate. What a grafter.
I thought he worked his socks off and he was coming back into midfield. And so was Chimity at times, mate. They were chasing people back and,
tackling them as well.
Aye, coming from behind and winning the ball. The two of them are big physical, different build, I accept, but they're 2 big blokes and they worked hard. And Mikey Moore, some of his touches were exquisite. Just the odd time, I think he should have just kept it simple once he's done the hard bit. But 18 years of age, he stood up well, particularly in the first half. Romans, I think he had them worried, Olsen in the first half, mate. He was working playing for the team. Most stuff was going down the left, but he still took part because he made that goal, mate. So everybody was playing well without being, it was a team performance outside, yeah. Obviously, Chimity's stealing the headlines in the first half because of the 2 goals, yeah.
Aye, Mikey Moore was outstanding in the first half. He was all over the park. He was running at them, causing problems, showing pace. And Big Chimity had finished the ball, finished his 2 goals well. And like you say, all over the park, we were dominant. Everybody was doing their job. And then obviously, we go off at half time and we're winning 2-0. I'm just going to say something, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm reading a few comments, right, on the YouTube feed and stuff. But I'll say one thing, right? Danny Rowe wasn't on the park when Raskin can't mark Kieran Tierney to header a ball, and he's no in goals when Butland can come out and maybe take and save the second one when the ball's coming across his 6-yard box and Souttar's letting a player run off him. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinions, right? But at the end of the day, the players are the players. The players went out and done a job in the first half, but couldn't finish the job in the second half. And for me, the players are responsible for that result. No, it's players that get the results and gets games won, lose or draw. And it is another draw. But I don't think it's all on the manager at all. You can argue might have maybe made a sub here or there, right? But for me, the players are responsible. Well, so that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Same as everybody else has got their own opinion, and I respect it. But I don't think it's right on the manager, to be honest here. It's the players, and it's no his fault that certain players that we had in that team can't defend properly.
I'm talking to you there and I'm on mute, mate. And I'm saying he's not listening to a word I'm saying. I'm on mute.
The people that are calling for Rowe to be sacked, mate, the one that he likes is really stupid. It's just stupid. They weren't shouting at half time about you for he sacked the manager, were they? When they watched that display in the Eagles and pummeling them for a full 45 minutes, mate. Well, I bet nobody at half time was shouting for him to sack. All of a sudden, we don't come out in the second half and it's his fault. Everything's his fault. It's not his fault. It's the players' fault. Look at the players and even your favourites.
I'll ask you this, mate. Right, I'll ask you this. A question to make, right? There's an argument that you do A, B, or C, right? And it's only hindsight. You could have done A, and you could have said, "Oh, I would have broke Kusama on. That's me in that game." But if Kusama does a moment of magic like he done against Hearts, the manager's proved to be right. Maybe in that game might have brought Tavon and McGowan and put them in front of Sterling and Romans, just the way the game was going, and went 4-5-1 and tried to see out. But who's to say we win the lost 3 goals? Because you'll never be able to answer that. You know what I mean? It might not have worked, and then they get criticised for that. But if anybody doesn't think we've improved under Danny Rowe, yeah, are we perfect? No. Is it frustrating? Hibs, Motherwell, Livingston, and that mob. It ain't good. Different reasons. The Hibs game, we were poor. The Motherwell game, we weren't great. Lost a goal at the death. Livingston, I can't even describe what went wrong that day. There's some criticism. Sunday, the first half performance, one of the best we've seen for a long time against them. And we got it wrong in the second half. Whatever, collectively, the manager maybe not using a couple of subs in hindsight. Because if we see that game out, nobody's talking about that, are they? Nobody's talking about that.
No. I mean, they came out in the second half, mate, and just collapsed. They collapsed for the simple reason the midfield died a death, mate. Just completely died for whatever reason. Then Raskin starts running about like a maniac. Say what you want. That's what happened. The pace drop. The trouble with this team, they don't realise something. If you drop the pace, you're not going to get it back up. We all know that in football. You drop your pace, you don't get it back. It's it for the day. So you've got to keep it up as much as you can do. You can't keep that pace up for 90 minutes. It'd be superhuman to do that. But the trouble is, these players don't learn nothing. This is what annoys, especially the old hands. They don't learn nothing, mate. They keep talking about this. Well, we learn for this. We learn for that. I've been listening to this for years now. We learn for this. Today, certain players in that team, they don't learn nothing. They don't learn how to control a game when it's like that. When your back's up to the wall, they don't learn. They crazy, stupid passes and no making passes. Just adding to the problem we've already got. The midfield's fell out the game. So we enhance that with mispassing the ball all over the place, mate. Some stat was like we only completed 64% of our pass in the second half. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's amateur level, mate. And we're sitting watching it. We're watching our keeper kicking the ball up the park to nobody. And when, at one time he was aiming the ball at Mikey Moore, I'm saying, he doesn't want a ball 60 feet in the air dropping to him. That's not the type of ball that boy wants. But that's it. If once you want to aim at his Nedry and big Chermity, you need to hit them with the ball. But no, he's kicking it out the park. He decides he wants to play football and chips it out of the guys. He's right out the park. So right, or Sterling's here as well. It's stuff like that, mate. It causes the anxiety to build and build and build. and it gives them their tails on them. They're
Momentum.
getting the ball they're getting the ball without even having to tackle anybody. You're just giving them the ball. So you're going, no, come on, behave yourself.
So we actually started the second half all right. We had a right good chance, you know, and I bummed the guy up, and maybe Romans should have done better. I don't know if you remember that. You remember it all better,
I remember it.
Aye. No,
Cut
so
it
we
straight at the
started.
keeper.
Aye. I think, well, all right. Everybody's done it, you know. That was a big moment looking back. So the next couple of minutes was all right. It was running about 50 minutes. The momentum seemed to change. Obviously, they changed their personnel. They started getting a foothold. And then they had a couple of corners, and we weren't clearing it. And I don't know what you felt of the game, but me watching it on the TV, I'm thinking, right, this is what I don't like. Because we cleared the ball a lot of the time, but because everybody was basically in the box, the ball was coming back all the time. So it felt about 10 minutes, and you could feel, oh, there's a goal coming here. And with the red scored, you're on the shot. But see, when I seen the still in a goal, there's 9 Rangers players in the penalty box. 9. And 4 Celtic players, and Tierney ends up heading it on his own in the middle of our goal, mate. There's some of me thinks that's because we've got too many people back, and it becomes somebody else will get it, instead of somebody else doing their job. And I think the 2 centre halves are great there. And I think Suter's got to go back, or we come out in a line, and then we keep it tight. Because put it this way, to chip it over Fernandez at 6'5" just shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen, mate. And for me, there's too many players back. I mean, they get some at the edge of the box and some further up the park. Just one even, so we're competing, so the boys don't always come back. And that's just how I would set my team up. Other people might not disagree. We're no losing goals directly for the set pieces, but we're putting ourselves back under pressure all the time. South side.
Aye, we weren't picking up second boys. We were sailing boys up the park that weren't sticking. And we just invited them on. They sort of passed the ball better. They made a couple of changes. The first goal we lose the ball stupidly, and then they work it and Tierney stoning in the middle of our area, getting a free header. We're not picking up the men. We're no Martin Raskin stoning behind him, doing nothing. So he gets a free header on goal, and you could sense there was a momentum shift. And like I say, he brought in Diamondi to make sure we could win the midfield battle, I think, to try and shut some gaps. But listen, the game went the way it went. People can put the finger on Danny Rowe if they want, say he should have changed this or changed that. I looked at the bench and I'm thinking, are you going to bring Asgard on? There's maybe a case for Bizrami at some point to come on in the game, right? But then we'd have to take somebody else off. So you need to look when who's capable of getting you up the park when you've got the ball, when you're going to take the pressure off. You need somebody to ball carry for you. So I just think we need more strength and depth into that team going forward. But listen, they improved this. They seen that we were sitting back a bit deeper. We weren't getting up the park. We weren't as physical in them as we were in the first half. And that's what led to them getting a bit of hope, and then they get a goal because we've gave the ball away to them, as you noticed, and a simple ball in our box, and we're no marking properly. And that's what conceded that goal. It made it 2-1, and it's as simple as that. You could probably sense it and feel something was coming because he'd had a couple of wee chances before at a shot outside our box. We weren't competing as well. We were allowing them to run round about us. So for everybody that's screaming he should have changed it, tell us who you wanted to come on the park or phone the show and come on the show and have a wee chat with us and speak to us, or else type it in the chat and let us know who you want to put on. Yeah.
It's not, listen, somebody, he did change it. He took Nordiri off and he brought Diamondi off because he recognised what was happening in the midfield. The big he'd run his race because in the first half he was getting close to McGregor as well and stopping no influence. Him and Hattati started getting a foothold in the game. The defence were going deep and stretching the play, and then there was a big hole because we only had 2 in there. And Mikey Moore and Olsen on the guys that how do I put it all better? Don't sniff danger. But I just want to go back to that first goal again, because that was a big moment. That was a big moment, because that was what, if that doesn't happen or we clear it and it goes up the park, the momentum, the time, and everything moves on. The game moves on. No, again, you'll never be able to answer it. We might have kept that one. We might have went on and lost 5 goals because the game's different. Or we might have been doing the part and scored another goal and run out 3-0 winners. You'll know, but it's a setup, and the guys had a lot of praise. So Romans is at the back post, I think, and he goes out. He's then out, he's come out towards where you're sitting, south side. So he's out there. Big Sterling's coming over. He's coming towards to go back into the right back position, if you like. So then Raskin's in at the left back position, which is fair. You've got to maybe cover somebody. But why have we set ourselves up like that in all of our teams all over the place? Yeah, we have to, because look at the physicality of Romans and Sterling. Don't think there's a lot in it. I don't think. I think actually, if what I've seen, I think Romans might be a better header of the ball than Sterling. I don't think that's a strong point in his game. So we're all over the place, and then that's how. If you see the still, mate, I think I'll see if I can find it. I can put it in the chat. Maybe Old School Blue can put it in the lobby for people to see it. There's 9 Rangers players to 4 in the box, mate, and it ends up in the net. It's just unbelievable. I'll see if I can get it, but I don't know if you picked up on that, because Romans come right out running towards you, south side, and Raskin's sitting in front of you. He might have been waving you at the time, all better, I'm not sure.
The problem you've got with there's 2 players, Suter and Raskin. The problem you've got with the two of them do the same thing when you're under pressure like this. When the team's under pressure, they start running after the ball. The 2 of them pull themselves out of position. Suter's a siege defender, so he'll go to the ball all the time, mate. Whether it's any side, doesn't matter how far out it will be, he's going to go out for the ball. And Raskin does the same. He just charges about chasing the ball, mate, like a primary school player. And that's your problem. So if they 2 are coming out of position, everybody else needs to start to think on their feet, and I need to get into a position. That's why they all look all out of shape. They're just no disciplined enough. And that's it's just getting back to the substitutions. That was the only mistake I seen Rowe making. The substitutions, the two subs that you should read at the same time was Nedry, because he'd ran his game, and Olsen. And the 2 subs he should have brought on is Diamandi and Barjami. And he just told Barjami to pick up McGregor. And that leaves Raskin to get Hatate. Because what was happening is they 2 were playing close together, and Raskin's trying to get one, and give it one, he pass it to the other. He charges them, he just pass it back, and then the next thing they've got a through ball. And that's your problem. And I'm saying myself, you need to pick up this wee boy Hatate. He's just running the show now. But he can't get near him. He's just chasing the ball like a schoolboy, as I said. So if you bring Barjami on and tell him to sit on McGregor, if he sits on McGregor, that leaves Raskin to deal with Hatate, and he'll get close to him, and he'll do what he's good at, is nipping the ball off him. That's what he'll do, and he doesn't have to do all that running that he had today, because we've now filled the park up with the right players in the right positions. That's what because you bring Diamandi on, and Diamandi is like Raskin at times, undisciplined, mate. He just charges about a maniac as well. You're going, what is he doing? I'm not a clue where he was playing at, and it's not his fault. I'm not blaming these players for the defeat solely, but they had their part to play, and this is the part I'm talking about learning. They never learn, mate. Raskin's learnt nothing. I'll ask you a question. I think Raskin's a better player now since he came in. I don't think he's improved one iota, mate. I definitely don't. I don't think Suter's improved one iota since he's came to us. But you're looking at these players, and we need to learn. Well, Tab's great for saying it. We need to learn. And what happens? They lose the same goals. They do the same thing. It's all right when we're on Tab and everything's going well. That's great. Everybody can play well then. It's when you get to the situation we find ourselves in the second half, that's when you know the metal. That's when you know your players are actually starting to learn.
I know you can't see it. I'm going to see if I can get it sent to you. Southside, do you see that picture? I'll see if Old School Blue.
Aye, I see it. Aye, and you look at. I can't make it out.
I apologise to the people. I know it's no good radio, but we'll try and get it put on Facebook and see if we can put it in the YouTube lobby so people can see it. Yeah. But
I mean, you can see where you've got players that aren't marking anybody at all. When the cross comes in, you've got a free player at the back post, and Raskin is stoning behind Tierney. and you've got Suter, Stone and Martin, Abdi, and you've got Fernandez, Stone and just half Maida. It's a poor goal we lose. We allow a player to cross the ball inside our area. That's the problem. We're letting them get touches in your area. But listen, we lost the goal. We can only look at it and we talk about it, we discuss it. And it's just players no going and being first to the ball, and the other ones are all ball watching. And there only is 4 players in that area, 4 of their players in that area, and we've got 7, 8, 9. So there you go.
Well, if you include the goalkeeper, we'll get 10.
So the only player that's not there's the one is Chimiti.
Well, if he gets the ball there, big Chimiti scores, doesn't he?
But it was poor defending, and we were stalling off. I just think when a team drops its level, and it's players that do it consciously, when they drop a level, and I agree with what Albert says, it's hard to bring it back up the level. I agree with what Albert says, you probably possibly could have brought on Bajrami, but let's be honest, Bajrami's been miles out this team for a long time. He's had a big game here or there, the same way Asgard lately. He's not going to be running about trying to dictate a play. He brought on a player who shows energy, whether he's disciplined or not at times. They brought on Diamondi, a player that he probably trusts and had brought him on in the game previous when we went up there to the Chamber of Secrets. He went to come on and he changed the game. So Raskin, Tukey and Raskin are players, Diamandi are players that he probably trusts in the midfield. Asgard doesn't the workhorse, and Bajrami's probably far out the picture. Although we could say you could have brought him on. I thought you could have brought Majovski on when you took off Naderi, but Majovski's lightweight, he doesn't hold the ball up, he's not going to run and press like Naderi did. I thought his work rate was really good. I thought he get after them in their defence and shut them down all in the first half. And his work rate was good, but Majovski's not that type of player. So whether it would have helped or no, and at that time we needed to put something in the midfield and not so much up front, because midfield, you could see they were causing us problems as Albert was alluding to there. So he went into the midfield to try and change it. Now there's a couple of people put comments on you could have played Giga, which you could have maybe stuck him on. Would you have stuck him on Ox, to be honest? Would you have put Giga on?
Never even crossed my mind to be lost the second goal, mate. Never even crossed my mind. I've got to be honest. What we'll do is we'll get the phone lines open, and I'll come back to you on that point, Biggie. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
It didn't cross my mind, honestly. I didn't think about it. I didn't enjoy Suter's second half performance. I actually thought he was my worst player in the second half. But I still didn't think about bringing the Jigger on. People might have said it. And I think that was all came after we lost that goal, if I'm honest.
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person
we'll come back to Albert. I just think that's a hindsight call, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
we've done it in Murrable and it didn't work. But we brought Fernandez on at Murrable, didn't we?
Yeah. The reason I'm saying bring Bajrami on, because he's done that job before for us. Sat on McGregor. You had to get players on their midfield. Their midfield was rotten, by the way, in the second half. So we had to get players in the middle of that part, but sitting on their players. And that's what I'm sort of demanding. He was supposed to go on and do something similar, but he's too undisciplined. He just charges a bit. So he ends up being totally ineffective and didn't add anything to the game. And you're saying, well, that's the problem. That's the problem that we did. That's the only mistake I see Rowe making. All the rest of it is just nonsense. It's just nonsense. Because they players caused this. They, for whatever reason, decide to hold on to the ball, decide to reason that they can't pass the ball anymore. Suter decides to panic for whatever reason best known to him. He just blind panic at times. And Butland decides to start booting the ball out of the place. Not a Rangers player, just anywhere but a Rangers player. And then I'm saying, no, they're going to start playing it for the back now. Watch this. And they were right up for it. They're right up for it. We just don't get the sense of the game, mate. They're right up for it. They're right pushed right on us. So he's trying to put the ball up the park and get them turned. I don't think he get out of the defence once. That was the idea of it, to turn their defence and get them run towards their own goal. But you've got to get them ball up the park. He never seems to be able to do that. But it's all great in hindsight, isn't it?
Listen, what did cross my mind, I said it earlier on, and I would have brought, when he brought Gassama on, I might have brought Tav on in front of. I accept that Tav's not got the legs that Gassama's got. And then I might have brought McGomer on, because I actually thought that Mikey Moore had run his race, mate. Because I thought he gave us everything he could, the boy. Yeah, particularly in the first half. And I know people will say, oh, you should be able to run a good game. I get that, but I thought he'd run his race. And again, I might have went with McGomer in front of Romans, and then 4-5-1, just to see. But again, we might have lost 3 goals if we'd done that. You can never answer it, Southside. Might have bought to Jigger on, he might have scored 2 own goals. I know I've been OTT, but it's all hindsight. It's difficult, mate, yeah?
Aye, because if they want to bring on 2 fullbacks and play them in front of what you've got in defence and play of Romans, or play them in front of Sterling, and you're basically playing with 7 defenders on the park.
Aye.
You know, and you might still have lost a goal anyway. Listen, Danny Roll's not to blame that Butland, our players, when we get a penalty, that our players aren't prepared, that when your goalkeeper might even think before the penalty's took, do you know what, Jack Butland might save us here. So they're not even got it switched on in their brains to follow it into the box. The guy's made 2 saves in our box, and there's still Celtic players in the box in front of any players that even considering running in the box. That isn't the manager's fault. That's the players with their mentality, not even thinking that Jack Butland might even save this and be switched on. You learn that at school, primary school, when you're playing football. These are simple things that you should know as a football player, and our team refused to follow a ball in once your goalkeeper makes a save. No once, but twice. And I still think Butland could have come out for the ball that was crossed in the 6-yard box, because I keep saying it. Most times the goalkeeper should be making sure that the 6-yard box is his. And especially for the height of him, I think he probably could have and should have. At all times, our goalkeeper should make sure that 6-yard box is his end, and he commands it. But I think we're a bit unlucky with the penalty. I understand why it was given, but I think the way Sterling's went up with his leg and the balance, you're trying to balance yourself, your hand comes up naturally. It was a header for close range, which it's already been said, according to wee Willie Collin before, well, I'll not give you a penalty for that. But I get it. He's heading it towards our goal, and it's taking a deflection off Sterling. And I can see why. No, but I can see, listen, if it was up the other end, we'd probably be screaming for it and all. Exactly. I can see why. I can see why it was given. I think it's a bit harsh because Guerrero's in that position, but it is what it is.
We've been joined by Josh. Evening, Josh.
Good evening, boys. How are you doing?
Hi, we're happy campers on here. Hi.
Oh, no. I've been listening to the show. I must disagree with you, Southside, just a little. Martin O'Neill made a master plan, a master stroke yesterday. He took his striker off, put Maeda up front, saw the problems that Celtic had. This is a sign of a good manager. Took his striker off, put Maeda up, excuse the language, shooter shot the bed after that, because he knew he never had the pace of Maeda. And that's why we sat in our 18-yard box, or just outside our 18-yard box, and we would get pounded and pounded and pounded and pounded by two guys. Hatate and Tuneke ran the show in the second half. Add to that, you're supposed to put Diamondi on to nullify and mark Hatate. He never, until Tierney scored the goal. So it is on Danny Rowe. It is on Danny Rowe to counter that. Add to that, he takes Nadiri off and leaves isolated Sharmiti up front. And if you look at the game back, the big man is throwing his arms up in the air and going, what the hell's going on? They're playing about with me up here, and I'm only here myself, because Martin O'Neill saw the problem that Celtic were doing, and they reversed it. Celtic could have beat us, and I can't believe what I'm saying. But the chances for Luke McCown, the
Yeah,
boy
he-
Murray,
He could
the
have done
boy
that.
Murray, Hatate, and Maeda. Add to that the 2 goals that they scored. They could have beat us in the second half. Danny Rowe got it wrong. Danny Rowe got the wrong, and he has to take the blame. He has to take the blame. But as you say, Southside, it is on the players. We are not in any state to win a league because we cannot finish teams off. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on yesterday, watching it. How bad and how embarrassing we were, and it was all down to Suter playing.
Well, I thought John Suter had a poor second half, but it wasn't all down to him. As good as we were in the first half, I thought Suter and Fernandez were okay without being outstanding. Albeit you can come in and ask Sir John's points. In the second half, we were poor, but we all collectively we fell out the game. You know, it was, and you're right about what they done, mate. That's what they done, and I think. But the big moment, mate, the big moment was the first goal. The first goal, and when you see the number of personnel we've got in there to defend that situation, the only criticism I've got, there might be too many of them. Albert.
It might very well be, but I don't believe it's Danny Rowe's fault. I don't believe that at all. I totally and utterly disagree with that. He puts A players out in the second half and tells them to play the same way he did in the first half, and they don't. That's got nothing to do with master plan for Martin Neil. That's just pure effort for us. People just losing discipline with the players themselves. That's the players doing that. He sticks on Diamandi to take Hatate, as you say. He doesn't do that. That's no Rowe's fault that he doesn't do that. He's decided he's not doing that. There's no Rowe told him, oh, I'm going to give you instructions. So you can ignore it if you want.
Who knows that Diamandi was told to go and stick to Hatate?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I thought he got wrong was that we should have put Barami onto McGregor. He gave Raskin a chance to get close to Hatate because he never had a chance to get close to him because he's trying to cover the two of them. Instead of shouting, he should be shouting for somebody to come on, give him a hand. But I don't. But I'm nowhere that was all Rowe's fault. That's not to do with Rowe. He'd had put the team out. Nobody was shouting it was his fault the first half. Nobody was saying, "Oh, get him out, sack him." I know Josh is not saying that, but I know other people are shouting, "Sack him." Nobody shouting the second end of the first half, sack Rowe. All of a sudden, it's his fault when the team refuse and just fall apart on their own. By the way, that's nothing to do with him. All on their own, they done that. They never lifted the pace up. First 5 minutes of the second half with the pace right, then all of a sudden we take our foot off the accelerator and that's it. Oh, it just falls apart from there on in. And you can't get it back once you've lost your pace. But that's just the facts of life, mate. That's what I've seen. I don't know you, that's what I see. I'm sitting looking at Raskin shouting at I'm looking at Raskin and shouting at Raskin. Gonna stop running out of people's spaces. Just discipline yourself. Sit in the middle of the park. And if you can't get two, don't jump into any of them. Not joke at the two of them. Instead of that, he's running about trying to get into field when he's miles off them. He's not even making the grunt up to get into it. Do you remember Raskin or Chitwani made a tackle? It was a foul. It wasn't a foul. But anyway, do you remember Raskin making any tackles in the second half? Every 50-50 ball we lost. They were getting ricochets. They were getting a bit of luck as well because every ricochet was going their way. It just happens in football. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But no, sorry, mate. I jumped in again.
Oh, that's all right. Josh, in you come, mate. Then we'll go to Southside.
I want Danny Rowe to be our manager long term. I'm no criticising him in any way. I just think that he put Diamandi on a wee bit too late to impact or stop or nullify them. As you said, Albert, once you lose that momentum, it's hard to get. So you should have countered it while Martin O'Neill brought Hatate and Tunecki on to give a wee bit more security in the midfield. That's what I was meaning. I don't want Danny Rowe sacked. I think he's a fantastic manager. I think he's done wonderful since he's come in. Got us into this place. But I just think we need a couple, 2 or 3 more players that have got that killer instinct. I don't think we've got that. in our team. It's far too many.
68 players, mate.
Huh?
68 players. We need 68 players.
Well, there
we need
you
in
go.
summer.
There you go. I agree with you. I was trying to be polite, but you've said it, and I agree with you. I don't think we've got the killer instinct. I don't think we're way off it. Motherwell, we couldn't hold out there. Livingston, that was an embarrassment, and yesterday was the same as you said. I just don't think we're in that. The team has got what it's take. This team has got what it got to take to win a league title. 6 points.
Maybe they will, Josh. But the problem is, it hasn't been scoring goals. Because if we'd have kept clean sheets in the second half of games, right, just the second half of games, and I'm not being ridiculous. With the drew with Hibs at Easter Road, we'd have took that. We'd have seen half Motherwell, we'd have beat Livingston, and we'd have won yesterday. I've got to be honest. I think some of our central defenders, Big Fernandez, still looks as if he switches off. And Suter, he's a guy when people are up close to him. That's when he does his best work. When he's got to think as a centre half, he doesn't look as if he's the best talker. Yeah, that's my perception. I don't dislike Big John Suter. I think he always comes across as a smashing bloke. I think there's a place for him in our squad. But should he be our number one centre half? I don't know, Southside. It's only my opinion.
Aye, no, listen, entitled to your opinion, Josh, and I respect it, mate, what you're saying, but Suter's been honking anyway for the last number of weeks. But when Tav isn't playing, he gets the captain's role. I do think Maida going up through the middle. It made Suter uncomfortable. He pressed us when we had more joy by passing the ball when he wasn't playing through the middle. I think Sterling never gave him a kick of the ball for 55 minutes, 60 minutes of the game. Maida on the left. Sterling never gave him a kick of the ball. But they changed it, and Sterling then wasn't as effective against that winger as what he should have been, and we let them pass the ball. But it's down to the players. We dropped half pace. After a couple of minutes, we've got a couple of corners, and if Roman scores that goal and we go 3-0 up, goals change games, right, Josh? And if we go 3-0 up, I think after that, it'll be a matter of how many. I think we're unlucky that they get a penalty right at the death, because if we go and we see that game out 2-1, and we could turn around and be sitting here going, do you know what, we're pretty rotten the second half. We never competed. We stood after them. We allowed them to come at us. Butler made a couple of good saves, and we've seen the game out 2-1, but we never. We've lost a goal. Motherwell, as you're talking about, and that, right, I get it. I was there that night. Listen, that was another lucky goal that they got. They had us under pressure. They probably thought at the end of the game they deserved something out of the game. But this squad that was built at the start of the season wasn't probably good enough when you look through it. Wasn't good enough to win a league title, but they could. They still can. The league's no won. I'm reading comments with people on the feed saying Hearts have already won the league. Hearts haven't won the league yet.
No.
Hearts haven't won nothing yet, right? They've not won anything yet. But if somebody with Hearts have won the league, fair enough, batter in. But they've won nothing yet. And the pressure will come onto them. And they're still winning games now. They're getting it over the line and they're getting results. But it's not to say it'll be that way when it comes down to the 9 games to go. But there is still to go. It's harder. But we just have to keep going. But I'm not saying Danny Rowe. I would say against Motherwell, Josh, I thought Danny Rowe made mistakes when he brought on 3 subs. And I think it changed the 2-3 minutes, because Motherwell scored 2 minutes later. But I think we might have used an extra sub yesterday. But I don't see how we've got and what we've got on the bench and what we've got on the park and what we needed. We don't have the strength in depth. I think we've got the 3 best midfielders there. We've got the energy and I've got the running ability. And I think 1 or 2 of them maybe was running out a bit of steam. I've got an argument if you want to play the left back or the right back, Tav or Magoma, and bring them on. I get it, because they were getting joy down the right hand side as well. But I still think the players' attitude for the second half when they came out onto that park and dropped their energy levels and dropped the fighting levels, I think that's what started it, and it gave that mob across the city.
Once you take
Aye,
the foot
I
off the
agree. I agree. Once you take the foot off the gas, as anybody who's played football knows, once you take the foot off the gas, then you try and put it back on again. It's not easy. It doesn't happen.
No, anyway, we'll be joined by Ross. Evening, Ross.
Oh, mate, discussed
What's
it,
your
mate.
language, Ross? What's your
Mate,
language?
discussed it, mate. What happened? What happened? What happened? Tell me the news. What happened? Honestly, played the first half, brilliant half, great half, first half, then absolute second half, just don't know. They just gave up. I don't care. Like, it's game over. What happened? What happened?
If we knew that, Josh, we wouldn't be on here. Albert, Ross, we wouldn't be on here.
Do you want me to talk?
Aye.
Aye, we've been earning thousands of pounds a week, mate. We knew that. Only surmising. The trouble is, it needs to be worked out. They need to work it out this week in the training ground, because we're going to play this mob again next week. And if we can't figure it out, they're going to do it again. It's not. I mean, so you need to figure it out and get it sorted for next week. We're all got our ideas of what's happened. But one thing's for sure, and it was blatantly obvious: we lost the midfield. The midfield just died a death. For whatever reason it died a death. We'll put our reasons out why, late subs, whatever way you want to dress it up. But we need to find a solution. And it's that's down to the manager to do that, manage his coaching staff and the players to put their hands up and say, look, I get confused here. I lost the plot. I didn't know what was doing here. And I'd expect some of these players to be honest about it, because some of them did lose the plot. It's just a fact of life, mate, and you can't admit it, and you admit it in the dressing room after the game. You're not much of a man, mate, because we see it. We seen the guys, but certain players' bottles just crashed, and they're the type of players that are not good enough for Rangers, mate. You can't have these people at Rangers. If that's the case, they need to go. But we're still in a league race. We're still the conclusion of the league's not there yet. Nobody's won anything yet. So we're still in it, mate. I know people will say, "Oh, no, we're no."
Oh, we made it
Don't
hard,
say it
mate.
that
We
way.
shouldn't have been in this situation.
Oh, we made it
yeah.
hard, mate. I mean, I'm not arguing the point. It's hard though. It's definitely very difficult.
You know,
But I'm no pulling up any white flag, mate. Forget about that. I don't do surrender. I listen to the song. No surrender.
I was
Big man,
disappointed.
all I can say, the famine is over. We're going to win. Honestly, let's get stuck in right about these mob, and let's get right in about them. My Rangers till we die. No
Cheers,
surrender.
Ross. Catch you soon, brother. Some man. Aye, listen, I get everybody's frustration. Listen, I'm not saying, but my rationale for the two fullbacks is, in hindsight, one of the things when they brought Gassama on the right, understand, I thought Scott Volson would use that term, run his race and all. But I think that I'm saying to myself, Gassama, even last week, we brought him up, we moved him from left to right. He doesn't really perform on that right-hand side. I think there's been two sending-offs he's been involved in. I can't remember if he scored for that side or created for that side. As I said, the sending-off at Livingston and the sending-off against Kilmarnock, he was involved in coming for that side. He just looks a better player on the left, and when we brought him on the right, I'm saying, I don't know if I'd have done that. I understand why he done it, because if you bring Tav on, who's got the pace? Tav or young Gassama. Young Gassama would be a difference. Southside, yeah. But it never worked out.
No, probably never worked out. We're probably looking to get the ball out wide and get him running, or don't balls into space to ease in up to get up the park. It's all right saying bring this one on and bring that one on, or play with two fullbacks and bring them on and stick them in here or there or whatever. I mean, Sterling's hardly played, and some people want to fling him into the middle of the park when he's already been playing, and then bring Tav on. And listen, it's on hindsight what you might do and what you think might work. If everybody's not a football manager, it's the one thing that Rangers supporters aren't good at, picking managers or saying anything else, as we've seen early the last while when people have had and these own managers. Danny Rowe's a young manager, and this team, as I said a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I said, When it was built at the start of the season to fight no fronts, it probably wasn't strong enough. So you're bringing Gasserman on to play on the right-hand side. Listen, he can date Ox, but he's took Scoville's and half there, so he's probably putting on like for like. Probably does Mero on the left, I agree with you. But at the time, he stuck him on the right-hand side, and they'd just bring on a left back at that time, I know, if you remember. Listen, it's just everybody seems frustrated. We're hurting a wee bit and we're frustrated because we were 2-0 up, and you'd like to think we've seen the game out. But these players, it's down to them. It's their mentality, and it's them that get you results, and it's them that drop points. I could finger the manager once or twice this season, probably for certain things. I think at Motherwell, when he made the 3 subs, he shouldn't have. I think it upset the team, and I think that's why we lost the goal. On the night, Motherwell. Aye, I mean, he brought on Majowski, he brought on Asgard, aye, and Sterling, was it Sterling? Gassama. And it didn't work for us, and we lost a goal 2 minutes later. And that's about the one thing that I labelled him for.
No, didn't bring Gassama on. I think he started.
No, he was already on. Was it Sterling? Was it Sterling? Come on, or something. I think it was Sterling.
Anyway, Biggie, we've reached that time of the evening.
Oh, so we have. Sorry about that. So we have.
That's all right, mate, because you're on the trill. Yeah, because you're getting your voice back, yeah. Get yourself a mute, gentlemen, because we're going to have a tune.
As we go marching down the Paisley Road West, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. As we go marching down the Paisley Road West, the doors and the windows open wide. You will hear the people cheer, the Glasgow Rangers boys are here. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. Blue is the colour, football is the game. We're all together, Glasgow Rangers is our name. For we are the best team in all Scotland, and Glasgow Rangers is our name. So bring on the Celtic, your Hibs and Aberdeen, your Dundee United, we're the best you've ever seen. We play hand on heart, God save the Queen. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me. It's Glasgow Rangers for me.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Josh, is the result?
Yes.
There's a what you could have if we were 2-0 down, and it's like the exact same as Parkhead. We were lucky we were 1 down at half time. We scored 3 in the second half, and we turned it around. That game there, they tweaked it. We reacted, but the big moment, mate, is the first goal, because that makes our team all the nerves can. We stopped passing the ball. we took too long in defence. We stopped turning them because sometimes we were just getting the ball up the park early in the first half, and we were worrying them because we were turning them. We stopped doing it. So we stopped doing what we did in the first half, and that came from I think it was Albert at Pond to do it. That came from our centre halves and our goalkeeper, who in the first half, how many times did you see Butland getting the ball, putting them in and pushing the whole team up the park? Yeah. It needed to get a hold of the ball, but the big moment for me was that first goal, mate. That first goal, that was the pendulum swung completely, mate, and you could feel the nerves kicking in, and that's football, Josh.
I just can't understand how Kieran Tierney got a free header when there was two players each side of him. I mean, it seemed to happen every time Media got up as well and nearly scored. The boy Murray had a free he did as well. I mean, our defence is I don't understand what I'm just frustrated. I'm just astonished that we are not talking more about the best goal ever to be scored, in my opinion, in my lifetime at Ibrox. We should meet to that overhead kick. That's McTominay-esque. See if Mbappe, Messi, or Ronaldo scored that, they'd be ranting and raving for
you
the
missed
next month.
One player there, mate. You missed one player there, Josh. Who did you
Maradona?
say? No. Who was the list?
Messi, Ronaldo,
Mbappe. Fox, yeah.
Said Mbappe. Huh?
Yeah. We've been joined by old Davey. Evening, Davey.
Oh, this is brilliant. There's a comedy half here, eh? Oh, it's been brilliant, guys, brilliant. Good evening. I was just looking at some of the chat on the YouTube channel, and I'm telling you, man, it's better than a night in the pavilion. Some of the questions and answers are fantastic, man. So everybody's losing the totty here. Anyway, let's get back to the reality of the game. We all know where we are. And everybody, what you have all said on the show, 100% suicide, Albert, yourself. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. Probably some of the things I say is all the same. What you smoking the night, Davey, and all that kind of stuff, you know. But overall, it is what it is, guys. We can't change what happened. And having a pop at the manager, that's not the answer. Suicide mentioned the players. I'll go with that all day long. Tactics-wise, he can't push. They can't move up the park to play the way they played in the first half. That's not on the manager. That's the players. And hopefully that'll disappear, but I can't see it changing, guys. But I must say, I thought the young Moore was outstanding on Sunday. See if everybody had to take a leaf out of that boy's book and put the shift in that young guy put in, I think we would have got through that game. But that didn't happen. Charmiti tried his best, but when you sit back against that monkey mob, you're bringing it on to yourself, and we aren't defending at the moment the best. I don't know what you think of that, guys.
No, I mean, John Suter in the last few weeks hasn't been great. I mean, it wasn't his fault against Motherwell, and directly the goals weren't his fault against Livingston. It wasn't at fault for two of the goals yesterday, but his moments when he gives away a lot of cheap fouls, and then you're defending set pieces into the box, and obviously they put the ball out the park cheaply, and all these things turn into momentum. By the way, Dave, I don't know if you picked up that Big Charmiti, the goals he scored yesterday were just outstanding, but one, as Josh said, one of the best goals you've ever seen, that overhead kick. But the groans when they backheeled that one in the second half, and we started to break away, they tried to do I don't know if it was a back heel or he tried to step out or something and play it backwards. And then they broke away and it never came to anything. But in that period of the match, we just didn't keep the ball, and that's what swung the momentum, Davey.
Yeah, I mean, we could nitpick and this and that. It's done now. And the only thing that's really getting to me is, apart from the result, okay, it's like losing a game, but it's gave them the impetus now for next week. And we could have had that taken away from them. That's what's annoying me, that we could have got right into their heads after Sunday if we'd have taken the 3 points. But that's been the story of the season. But what everybody's forgetting as well, you just need to go back 2 or 3 months and look where we were. Nobody was talking about winning the league. Some people on the chat and all these other programmes were talking about, any more of this, we're going to get relegated. So, it's night and day for where they are. So enjoy the journey, guys. Enjoy the journey.
I do think we've improved, Davey. I do think we've improved, but I think we've just not managed to get it out in these games when they've came in the last few weeks, and that's the frustration. I feel everybody's frustration. If we'd have seen this game, we're not looking back to Hibs and Motherwell was strong as well as now, and we're not as not annoyed about Livingston as we were. But when you take them on a roll, that's the frustration. And I understood it. I was frustrated myself. But we're critiquing individual games. Maybe as the week goes on, we might talk about what we maybe think the issue is. I think it's the defence. I think we've scored enough goals in these games that if you keep clean sheets or you don't lose 2 in the second half or you don't lose 2 goals in a couple of games, you've got at least 4 points more, Olga.
Of course you can. I mean, the defence has lost 2 goals in the last 3 games. So it's definitely a problem in defence. And I don't know if it's Suter or no, it's Suter, but it seems to be happening since he come back into the team. We started losing goals again. And we also, the free kicks have dried up as well since he come back into the team. Because I think they aim at him too much, mate. And he never wins enough balls in the opposition area anyway. I would use him as a decoy, but anyway, that's another argument. But I wouldn't blame the defence in Saturday per se. They get some couple of things wrong. But it was a midfield, mate. I've said the whole thing, we've never had enough midfielders. I've said when we went the transfer window in January, we should have bought midfielders. I'm happy with what we bought, but we should have bought midfielders. I told you, our midfield's crap. We've not got enough variety in there, and we've not got enough cover in there. And this is proving the point when they all get knackered there on Sunday, sorry. We just didn't look for the legs to carry on, but we had to keep them on because there is nobody else to bring on. As far as I'm concerned, it's the defence didn't give us part to play. I know you said Suter didn't have any involvement in the Livingston game. It's him that caused. He gave 2 free kicks, but I don't think free kicks away
he wasn't
for the 2 goals.
Involved in the 2 goals,
Well, he was. He gave free kicks away. But I know what you're saying. He's just a bang average centre half, so that's all he is. Bang average, mate. He's a good cover for centre half, but he's not a main man. Never will be, mate. But getting back to the what do you call it? The wee Mikey Moore that David touched on. See the boy Olsen. See the way Mikey Moore played in that first half, by the way. And that's what I'm expecting Olsen to do. That amount of involvement in the game, that amount of contribution in the game. That's what I'm expecting him to do. And if you get the 2 of them, then you've got a powerful forward line now. But Olsen's just, don't get me wrong, he got the assist there on Sunday, but it's not enough. He needs to get involved in the game more than he's getting involved in it, mate, as far as I'm concerned. We Mikey Moore's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And he's playing brilliant. And you say, look, that wee boy showed you all how it should be done. If you all play your position as well as he plays his position, you've got a hell of a team. But Olsen, get involved, son. Come on, let's get involved. Just wee flipping moments he does. It's just not enough for me, mate. Not enough.
Did you feel as if we were coming down the left, Albert? Even though that goal, both of the goals came from the right, bizarrely, didn't it?
Aye, he come down the left for the simple reason you've got that boy Rones, the left back. He's a superb player, mate. A really, honestly, a superb player. And he's making a hell of a difference on that left-hand side. He plays the 1-2. The thing we were shouting about for long enough. 1-2s are great. He does it well, mate. And he does a lot of powerful running off the ball, up and into their area. No, I mean, he doesn't have to have the ball when he's doing the running either. He runs off the ball and then he'll take it back again. I like the boy. He's a good player, a really good player. So that's the reason we come down the left. I thought they come down the left a hell of a lot. But on my side in the first half, the Govan stand, I look at Olsen and say to myself, Big Stirling does well when he comes forward, but he's no a Tavernier going forward. No, I mean, let's be honest about that. He's and then you've got Raskin coming out and stealing Olsen's position space. He does it all the time. He does my head in watching him. I'm saying, get out of the way. Stop killing the space. Let him get into the space. But no. Mr. I want to be everything is in the right place as far as I'm concerned. But it's second half. It's just the second half. First half is a given, mate. That was brilliant. Everybody said it's brilliant. We all enjoyed that. Fantastic. Place was rocking. Didn't think the place was rocking in the second half for whatever reason. We never got off to a start, and then the crowd sort of whitened a bit.
Got nervous, mate.
Yeah.
Mate. It came when we had that mad 5 minutes, then lost the goal, mate. The place got nervous, and you can see that's what happened. Josh, then Davy, then Southside.
Aye, so Southside hit it in the head. Goals win you games. If Romans scores that right in the second half, it could be any score, because then they wouldn't come back for that 3-0. So Southside spot on. But you're right. I just think the team's mentality the players' mentality is wrong, all wrong. I mean, we drew against Hibs, Motherwell, Livingston, and now that mob. It's no good enough, really. And we've been in winning positions 3 out of the 4 games, and that's no winning league mentality.
You should at least see 2 of the games out. You should at least see 2 of the games out, yeah. And obviously you get 4 more points. That's the reality, mate, yeah.
For me, we should have went for Livingston, bought me the team, bought me the league. It doesn't matter about the park. It doesn't matter about the park. Good players play in any park. I'm no swallowing that. It's the park, plastic pitch. Good players play in any park. We should have beat Livingston. There's no excuse for that. Getting down 2-0 against Livingston. We should have seen out Motherwell, and we should have destroyed them yesterday. There's no excuse for that either. It's the players' mentality. I don't know what it is, but we can't, and that's what I says. When I come on, we need, and Albert agreed, 7 or 8 killer instinct players that know how to see out the games, and then we'll maybe start going on a run. But we're too inconsistent. There's far too many draws. What's that, 12 draws or something? No. The season so far. Nothing against Danny Rowe. I think he's the guy to take us to the next level. But it's the players' mentality that is all wrong for me. I think there's a dysfunctional blockage somewhere that they can't.
Cheers, mate. Oh, Davy.
You could sense it was coming with the crowds. You could see it. Everybody that watched the game at home or wherever they were, after the first 10 minutes of the second half, and they started coming into the game, he went, "Oh, here we go. I've seen this picture before." But you're hoping that's not going to happen for all the rest of the game, which it did. And that's what happens when you think of the amount of what we've been going through in the last few seasons, and the anticipation of where we are now, and the expectations are high, and then you say, "Where's that team that was there in the first half?" And that's when the crowd reacts. If you look at the Hearts game, when we steamrolled him, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. You only get that if the players can give you it, and we didn't do that. That's the only way I can see the expectations where it went silent with the crowd, because everybody's gone, here we go again, and it did.
Can I come in?
Southside, in you come, bro.
I think Fox was wanting to come in there, buddy.
All right, aye, of course, in you come, Mr. Fox.
I'd just like to ask Dave if he thinks a wee bit like me. I've heard all the supporters going on and on. It's lack of bottle. It's a mentality. For me, it's just lack of pure experience of being in the positions that we've been in. We've had to rebuild squads season after season. At no time do we get a group of players going from one season to the next season. The only time we basically done it was under Gerrard, where it took him 3 seasons to build a winning side. And I think that's all it is lack of experience. I don't think the players intentionally drop their standards. I think it's just lack of experience and being unable to learn. We're not playing together long enough how to handle a game.
Can I answer that, folks? Oh, sorry.
On you go, David boy. On you go.
Folks, go to the top of the class. Get yourself a couple of Maltesers and let's go.
Leave your books here, Fox. You'll not be long.
I'm surprised that you've been this wonderful midfielder and you haven't ever brought that up about the experience that you need to handle games upstairs.
I would argue it's for experienced players who are internationalists. What have we got in that team? I know Butland's got a cap, but he's not a regular suitor. Raskin could both be going to the World Cup, and they're the guys that in big moments at times haven't maybe performed as well as they could do. And that's not a criticism, that's an observation, that's what we've seen. And they're arguably were two, I'm trying to think, they would be. Well, Diamandi's caps, Tucci's gets caps as well, but obviously there's experience there, but not at the level. We're a young side, you know, and who was it? Just Suter's 29. Butland, take him. The rest of them are really young in that part, average age. You know, Nadiri and Chamiti up front, early 20s. Mikey Moore, 18. Olsen, I think, is about 25, 26. Yeah, there's nobody, only Butland in that starting 11's in his 30s. We're a young side, collectively, Fox, but there's still some experience there with Suter and Raskin. Just they know what it's all about. They've been at the club for a while, and also Tucci's. I think he's also an internationalist, but I don't know how many caps he's got without checking out. But two of the boys are particularly going to the World Cup, so just looking for people to do their job at the right time. But collectively, Fox, I don't disagree with you. No, it's not the most experienced group. Southside, then Olga.
I agree with what Fox is saying, and listen, we said on here a while ago, I said it, and there's another couple of people said that Danny Rowe would need at least 3 transfer windows to get this right. Russell Martin built this team to start with, and it wasn't good enough to fight in 4 fronts, all the cups and the league. Danny Rowe's managed to add 4 players in the January transfer window into this squad. If you look at their game times that they had, Romans came in, he'd been injured, so we had to take a few weeks to get going. Scove Olsen hadn't played since November. Big Tushy was playing and will contribute, and Nadiri was playing at a lesser level down the leagues in the Bundesliga. That game yesterday, in the magnitude of it, blows players away. Kevin Thompson spoke about it, Barry Ferguson spoke about it, Arfield spoke about it. All players, if you listen to them back in the day, will tell you that for your first game when you play in these type of games, your adrenaline's gone, the build up to the game, it can pass you by. We've all seen it on here. Everybody listening to this show have seen Rangers players go out there and the game has passed them by in the past. Some of them will use the mental energy and some will tire. Nadiri obviously came off because he's been struggling with a bit of fitness, and it brings me on to it. So we've got players there that were probably going to, when they've lasted the 90 minutes, or when might struggle throughout the game at certain times. And this season, the amount of games that we've been playing, although we're now into one a week at the moment. I'll just mention this. Barry T, it was on the feed. He wanted to ask us a question, and he's saying to us that he's never seen so many players so unfit, and we keep saying that this player or that player had ran his race, and he's asking, do you think the squad is fit enough, or why is the squad so unfit? I think the new 4 players have added quality to our squad, although they need to get their fitness up. As I've said, some haven't played as much game time as others, but we've added quality, and you can see the quality is up. So if you keep the faith with Danny Rowe and let him go, and maybe either him be liable for getting some more players, as well as players that we've earmarked to make the squad better, we can get rid of some of these players that are in the squad now that will leave in the summer. And as you say, 1 or 2 or 3, even Bezrami, going to a World Cup, they'll all go in the summer, and we can refresh the team, because we have been taught to rebuild in this squad for God knows how long. And we have got inexperience, and they don't know what it's like. Some of them will be fighting for a title, although Tushy won one with Sturmgratz, I think it was. He managed to get one over the line. But as for the rest of them, they've not really getting much success going from and playing in teams that have been going to win championships. So I agree, we need experience. But Danny Rowe needs at least another window or two to build this squad and make a better squad, and hopefully get more experienced players into the squad going forward, Docs. You know, so as much as we're all disappointed and some of us are throwing the toys out the pram now, some have got Hearts winning the league already, and there's nothing won yet, nothing. And I don't believe Hearts will win every game at the end of the season. I don't think Motherwell might even win every game at the end of the season, and that mob across the city will not win every game at the end of the season. We're being inconsistent. We might not be able to do it, but you never know. We just need to get a run. We're not getting beat. There's only one team beat us twice this season, and that's Hearts in the league. The only team. It's the draws that have been killing us off at the moment, but we're still in there fighting. There's still a few twists and turns to come in this league, because everybody's inconsistent. Motherwell's about the most form team, but they might hit a bad patch and all going forward, but they might have a say in it as well. So we all just need to keep the heat, and hopefully we can get this over the line. And if it goes to a helicopter Sunday again, then so be it. It'll be good for the blood pressure or the heart for everybody, but listen, we need to keep the faith. We need to tell me, but these players need to do it. These players need to get to show reaction and start to fight as much as they can. And some of them, like you say, seem you've got a team of players lined across the 18-yard box, there's a penalty getting gave against you, and the players don't run in that box to try and clear the ball when the Buckland's made 2 saves. What does that tell you? It's not the manager's fault. It's the players' fault.
Well said, big guy.
Albert.
Aye, there's a bit of inexperience, but I don't think that's the reason we get beaten. We didn't win the game on Sunday. That's just bottle, mate. You can't get away from it. Certain players' bottles went, and it's just the midfield totally chucked it. Maybe they're knackered, maybe they're whatever, but they chucked it. And as Southside saying that penalty kick. I mean, the penalty kick, if you want my view on the penalty kick was a penalty kick, but they should never have scored it. That was ridiculous. That was criminal. Out of all the things in Sunday, that was the thing that really got me. They should never have scored it. Because your keeper saved it twice, and we're all stoning with our fingers up our jacksies, watching them running in and to get a third chance to put the ball away. Nah, not acceptable, mate. That's no inexperience, that's laziness. So to a certain degree, it's about inexperience, but it doesn't cause that on Sunday, not in my opinion anyway. And they will take time to get a squad together. We'll definitely not get the right squad yet. So there's a few players to go. This is going to be a World Cup summer as well, so the transfers are going to be more difficult again this summer. I even get rid of players like Raskin. If you're going to try and get rid of Raskin, he's going to be away at the World Cup. He'll not be 20 talk about transfers or anything else. He'll just be wanting to play in the World Cup. Barjami, they'll all be like that, man. Anybody's going to the World Cup. So, I'll take on board a bit of that, but I'm not giving them a pass. I'm not giving the players a pass. No for that on Sunday. That was unacceptable. That second half. First half, great. Magic. Loved it. So they weren't inexperienced in the first half, but they became inexperienced in the second half.
Fair shout,
Just-
mate. Fair
but-
shout. Yeah. When
that's my
I say
opinion.
that when I say somebody has ran their race, I think the game's changed. I think in the modern game, you've got 4 subs you can make, and you'll still get somebody sitting spare in case somebody gets hurt. So you've got high energy positions, wide bed coming back into EU4 midfield, and they're working hard. And Mikey Moore and covered was everywhere, and then he took a lot of dunks and tackles, and then the nervous energy saps away to you as the game goes on, Albert, and people just go flat. And that's what I mean about running your race. It doesn't mean you're unfit. It's just that it happens. Guys go because of the game they played. Maybe he was too affected in the first half and it affected the second half performance, but we never get them off the park that often. Anyway, we'll be joined by Bob Ger, who's with us. Evening, Bob Ger.
Aye, good evening, lads. How we doing?
How you doing, Bob?
All right, aye. Well, I was listening to the show earlier on, and yeah, I used this word yesterday, Ox, and I'll use it again tonight. We're scunnered. Well, that's, at the end of the day, it's history, it's past. It was our own fault for our own failings in the second half. We couldn't have finished the game off. Let's look forward. We've got a cup quarter final against him on a Sunday. We're at him, and we'll have him advantage, obviously, and he's a big crowd at the back. Don't worry about them and the Brownlow. We'll get the better of them on Sunday. And let's look forward. Loads of optimism. Cup quarter final. We're still well in this league race. We've got a good manager, a good squad of players. We've proved twice in a row we can outplay them. 1.5 games, albeit. But we can go the full hog on Sunday and beat them, practically finish their season. It was half finished yesterday if we beat them. So, at the end of the day, a bit of optimism backing out. Their tails will be up. Let's get yours back up. Because we're at home again, and we can do the slot on Sunday. Just do the same thing to them again, and I'm sure we can. So, that'll be history. We are scunners, but let's get on the scunners. There's a word for you. So come on, Rangers. Let's get ahead of go and do the same again on Sunday to them. Only finish it off this time.
Go on yourself, Bob.
Can you get unscunnered?
Unscunnered. There's a word for you. The club manager.
You probably
can do.
You probably couldn't have done it 20 minutes ago, but you can now.
Aye.
Unscunnered.
You'll not forget that word in a hurry, old bear.
No, I'm going to use that, mate. Unscunnered.
Aye.
I am unscunnered about this. Aye. But you're right. So that bit's history now. Look at take the positives, take care of the negatives, talk about the negatives of them doing some sales, sort it out, and let's go for next Sunday. So, you're confident enough to beat them, mate. You're confident enough that they're there for the taking. It's just we're in failings. That's what we need to take care of, because we definitely dropped out the game. There's no getting away for that. But as I say, you've learned that lesson. That lesson's there now. Learn for it. And let the manager come up with a solution, saying, well, we're going to do the same, but we're going to run out of energy again. Well, I need to do something different to help them out this time. Quite reasonably confident, put it that way.
Oh, you've seen it yesterday. We were... Sorry.
No, carry on, Bob, yeah.
We were miles away from them in the first half yesterday. I've never seen Celtic take a pounding like that at the stadium for a long time. And we could have just finished it. I know if, but maybe that doesn't exist in football. You've got to do the business. And we never. I don't like using a word like you know what, but we did. We bottled it the second half. Midfield didn't function. Therefore, they couldn't get the balls up to the strikers. Everybody makes mistakes in football. Glasgow Rangers are no different. It's history. They didn't beat us. We outplayed them in the second half at Park. We did beat them. They didn't beat us yesterday. So we've got a chance. We've got a chance yesterday to put them out of one competition. We've got a chance this week to put them out another competition. Well, let's finish the job. And then you'll have 9 league games to play. There's plenty of football to be played yet. Plenty of points to be won and lost. We're still well in there. I mean, a lot of them are talking there like we're finished and the league season's over. No, it isn't. It's only starting to begin now. And Rangers are going to be a big, big part of it, I can assure you. They are. That's how confident I am. Carry on, boys.
Outside. And then we'll go back to Josh.
We've covered a lot tonight. I think a lot of it is frustration. We're all scunnered when we come out the stadium because we felt like that.
Are you unscunnered now, Southside?
No, I'm still scunnered. But I've got sent a wee clip which I never seen it, and I get sent a wee clip, and I don't know if you want to mention it just briefly while we're on the chat. When Raskin, I know it's timely, but when Raskin goes to try and do the overhead kick, have any's actually seen the footage of that?
Yeah.
Where they're right back, the one that
right back,
was having a go
right
at Mikey Moore, up bangs into the back at Raskin as he's going to do his overhead kick. He plays the man, but he doesn't even get anywhere near the ball. And Raskin's go to try and do an overhead kick, which was inside the penalty box. I hadn't seen it at the game, but I get sent it, and I thought, all right, he plays Raskin clearly without playing the ball. But obviously VAR didn't want to look at it because it's the last minute of the game. And obviously with McLean and Clancy on VAR, then it was never going to be looked at, was it? But listen, we've all got to keep our heads. We're disappointed. A lot of us are hurting a wee bit, and it's frustration. But listen, there's a lot of football still to be played. We've done Helicopter Sunday for a much harder position in the past. And like I say, Hearts are going to come under pressure. Aye, they're managing to grind out results now, but they're still losing players. They've lost the centre back. They've got a few games, a couple of tricky games to play. We'll go obviously their next game after the cup game, St Mirren. They go to Love Street or whatever they want to call it now and get the 3 points. And we just need to keep the faith and keep the head and try and pick up the 3 points and win our next few league games and hopefully get it up to the split and see where we are. But I think there's points to be dropped all over the place here going forward. And it will be who'll probably be the most consistent at the end of the season now with 9 games to go. We've not lost many games. We've drew a few. We need to turn these draws into wins. If we can do that for the next 9 games, then we will be champions. Because I don't think Hearts, Motherwell and that mob across the city will win every game going forward either. But listen, we are where we are. We need to strengthen the team, and Danny Rowe needs to be able to get another transfer window or 2 in behind him to build his own squad and his own players and get some of these players out the team altogether and get them moved on. Diamondi, Raskin, and I've seen in the chat, Giga will not be there, Mikey Moore might not be there, and Scove Olsen might not be there if we don't take up the 10 million offer of buying them and whatever. Then so be it. But at the end of the day, we will be adding players to this squad, and hopefully when we do add players, they'll be of the quality of what we've just brought in or better. They 4 players have certainly made their squad stronger. We just need to get a bit more consistency and turn the draws into wins. And that's what's causing the frustration. But we're 1 year into the new regime coming in and trying to build a squad, and it wasn't strong enough at the start of the season, and it's still not strong enough till the end of the season. But it doesn't mean we can't win a league.
Well,
Can I
today
come in?
we just need to win games. And you come, Davey?
Just a wee question for you, and probably for all the punters on the chat. Do you not feel over the piece over the last few seasons, we are badly needing a strong captain in that team? Because I don't see it. And you need that as an inspirational guy. You can go through all the other teams that I don't think we've got that. And if Tav's not going to be there next season, Suter ain't going to be a captain for me. So do you think we could be doing with a stronger personality in that position?
Albert?
I'm not big on captains nowadays, because they're not like to put their bit up people's bums. No, I mean, it's all this woke nonsense. You've got to be all nicey and cuddly and all this nonsense. Know what I mean? But so I don't think the captains get that big an influence they used to have. But you definitely need somebody to go and harass the referees. There's no doubt about that. Tav doesn't do that. Tav's just too nice a guy. You need a nasty so-and-so that the referees just don't want to get involved with. You know what I mean? There's, like, you watch that Shinnie Aberdeen, you watch that wee arsehole, that wee trumpet from McGregor. You watch them, they're never away for the referees. They're in his face all the time. Whereas we've no got that. We've just seem to have this Boy Scout attitude towards football. We want to do it all the nice way. Was it the saying, these guys never win anything? So you need to get a bit nasty. And for a captain, I just want a mouthpiece, mate. I just want somebody to say the referees dread and go, no, here we go. I better not give this decision against him because he's going to be all over me. At the moment, we've no got that, mate. Definitely no got that. It's just, it could be leadership that way, but as an influencer, nah, I don't think the captains have got much influence. Most of the players are, their egos. I think what we're asking, they said Raskin's a captain. His ego gets in the way. Raskin's ego gets in the way. Raskin's ego gets in the way to stop him going on to be a great player, mate. He wants to do it his way. He just wants to do what he does, and he's on a part and playing. He's not playing for the team. He's playing independent of the team. And you're saying, look, stop doing what you're doing. So go back to what you're good at. So players like that, if Raskin could settle down, he might turn into a good captain. But I think his ego getting away with it. But you might be right with your captains. But realistically, no, for me, I don't think captains are big unless they're annoying the referees. That is.
Aye, but what I'm saying, Albert, is, are you happy at the moment the way we are? Our captains are participating in the match? I don't think so. You don't need to kick somebody out of the hookie to get them out. You get onto their face, you shouting your ball. I don't see that.
I've not seen it with Tav either. I've not seen it with Suter. I've not seen it with Tav either. Just as the players are, David, the way players are now, you can't do it. They go in huffs and look at Gassman. He's not huffed most of the time. You don't like them. They're just wee shrinking violets now. You can't say anything. They're no men. They don't stand up and go like that. Like that, Tierney, he's pushing everybody all day long yesterday. He's just after the ball, just kept put. Just lamp him, deck him, stretcher him off. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
That's brutal.
There's not enough of that for me, you know. I mean, just don't let people. The one guy who'll go in the team who'll not let people mess him about is Big Fernandez. I like that big boy. He's not taking any crap off nobody. And you're going, you want a captain there? You're captain there.
I mean, he's really raw in the position, Albert. Eh? He is raw.
Hey, he's raw. But he's up for it, mate. You can't say he's no up for it. He's up for it. And since Suter come back into the team, as I say, the free kicks, the goals for the free kicks and corner kicks have all dried up. I'm not blaming Suter, but I think they're just trying to hit him. Fernandez all day long. Everybody in that area should be working to get Fernandez into the space to get onto the ball. Everybody blocking and running after the ball and taking players away from him. And everybody in the area should be working to get him on that ball. But instead of that, we'll punt it into Suter or Raskin, and nothing much is happening there. Just an observation, mate.
Josh, in you come, mate. You've been sitting patiently, then we'll go back to Bobja.
Captain, I agree with everything that Albert said. I don't really think the captains are irrelevant these days. I think they're just, I don't know. We've not had a good leader for a while, I don't think. Me personally, I don't think Tav's the kind of person that will shout and ball and all that kind of stuff at people and get into referees like faces like Barry Ferguson used to do. He was never done shouting and balling. That's what we need. What Scott Brown for them back in the day. He used to be an aggressive captain and all that. That's a leader. We've not got a leader now until Danny Rowe gets these next two windies. But I just want us to improve and play for 90 minutes instead of this 40.
That's a good point, Josh. That's a good point. We've not won two halves that often, mate. Yeah, we haven't.
Well, what I want to say is, Rox, if I can, see that penalty that they got. Not one Celtic player appealed for that. It was VAR. Because if you look at it after the incident, Tierney was ready to take the throw in.
There was
if
no,
anybody's seen that.
there was a
There was
lot
no,
of
there
people
was
at
no,
a lot of people. It was only when it was mentioned on the TV, mate, that people started looking at it. Most people at the ground, when they, the only way they'd have seen it was on their phones, Albert, and then Southside, yeah. Because
I didn't see it, mate. I didn't see it at all. But as soon as I heard it, they're looking for a handball penalty kick, and he pointed his earpiece. I knew right away it was game. I never seen it, but I knew he was going to get it. And then he's walking towards the screen. I'm going to the screen. I just walked out. I says, he's getting that. I don't care. I've not even seen it, but he's getting that. I knew right away he'd get it. So, as I said, they're going to decide who wins this league, mate. These officials.
Southside.
I didn't see it at the game, and Josh is right. I never seen any Celtic player appeal for the penalty at all. And I never even seen it at the game. I just noticed that Butland managed to save it, and I seen he was getting a free header in the 6-yard box. And I didn't even see it hit Sterling, but when I seen him standing holding when he had his horn up to his earpiece, I thought, here we go, something's happened in there. I wasn't sure what it was at the time, because obviously I thought it was a good save for Butland. And as Albert says, once he'd done that, I thought there's only going to be one outcome here. He's going to the VAR screen and he's going to begin a penalty.
I can understand how at the game they'd seen the horn ball. You know, if you're a certain angle, you wouldn't have seen it. You know, because it wasn't a horn ball, it was a body horn. But I think Southside said that if it happened up the other end, we'd done that replay, we'd have been looking for a penalty. Wherever we got it is a different matter. Josh, then Bob Jerk can come in.
I just wanted to highlight that point because there was not one Celtic player appealed for it. Not one, because Kieran Tierney went to get the ball and he actually threw it to Tanecki, and then the referee stopped the game. So in reality, if we never had VAR, they wouldn't have got that penalty, really, because the game would have still went on and we would have won. So it's just thought I'd bring up one of the I highlighted that instance kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I just want us to try and play for both halves. Just play for both halves. Do you know what I mean? Very, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. It's the best 45 minutes I've seen in a long, long time, and it's sad that we're no highlighting the wonder goal with Shamiti, and we're talking about other things. As I said, because it was a fantastic. It's the best goal I've seen at Ibrox. No, undoubtedly, since I've been a Rangers supporter, and I'm 38 years of age, and I've never seen a goal like that at Ibrox, in my lifetime.
You're the oldest one here.
You're the oldest one here. Well, Davey might.
I think Davey's younger than 38.
I'm nearly 100.
You're older than my house.
Oh, very good, very good.
Aye. And you come, Davey, and then Bob Jerk can chip in, yeah?
Well, now that we're talking about the penalty, right? Even just 20 years ago, that would never have been a penalty. They have changed so many stupid rules about what constitutes a penalty. 20 years ago, okay, it was VAR, but if the referee gets a good view of that would never have been a penalty. This has all been changed by the rules. It's like offside. If your elbow's up in front of the guy, you're offside. Total crap. That's the rules. The rules are changed, and everybody's stuck with them. And unfortunately, that's where we are with that decision. That was never a penalty 20 years ago, because they changed the rules, changed whatever part it hits you, is not a penalty. And a lot of times that they don't even bring that into consideration because we all know it goes on behind closed doors.
It was a big moment, but I mean, the game changed for me with the first goal, not the second goal. I think the game might have just be a bit. In fact, I think I was thinking, my mind is starting to think that the game was starting to peter out because they brought on, what's his name, Forrest. And I thought that's when maybe we should have used some substitutes as well. You know, that I think, well, it's not a criticism of Danny, it's just an observation. I think that the game is a 14-man game now. You've got to try and use them. I take your points outside. Ideally, we'd have brought on our physical midfielder, which we haven't got, yeah.
Aye, if he'd been fit, the only one that springs to mind is he's still injured and he's limited to what he can do, but he gets about the park would have been Connor Barron. We don't have another midfielder in there that will do the type of job that you want them to do, get in people's faces, try and get in, protect the ball, win tackles, all heart and desire and effort. Asgard's not that type of player, and Bezrami's been scarcely used. Although I agree, I think Albert mentioned it earlier, might have been the thing to put Bezrami on the park in hindsight and stick him on McGregor and let Raskin deal with Hattati. But it's all things that we see later on. At the end of the day, if it's not a penalty given and that, and we don't give him a free header, we're going to see that game out 2-1. And we didn't play well in the second half, but we'd have won the game. But going with Albert's theory is what he'll tell you the now, so there's no grey areas or handballs in the area as a penalty, regardless. Isn't that right, Albert?
Yep, that's it done. That's it finished. Take the grey area away for these idiots. Every handball in the area is a penalty. I agree with that, mate. I want to take as much away for these referees as you possibly can, and VAR. I keep saying about the offside. It's any part of your body onside, the goal stands. No offside. So you can have your head, shoulders and everything. As long as you've got one leg, one toe, your heel onside, you're onside. Make it positive instead of negative. But instead of that, they look all different ways to take a goal off. I'm looking for all different ways to keep the goal alive. But it's just a modern game. But you give these idiot referees, this is the land they live in, mate. If you give grey areas, they're living in that land, mate. And that's how they can never be wrong. See, referees subjective and all this nonsense. You're seeing blatant fouls. I mean, the Raskin one's a penalty kick. That's a penalty kick all day long, mate. It's a foul any other place in the park, but because it's Southside said, last minute. Oh, they're not going to get in VAR last minute. I mean, it's just a new rule, but that's a fact. That's another wee ditty that nobody's even mentioned this, mate. Nobody's even mentioned it in the media or nothing. It's just didn't happen. It's just, that's just a weird one. It didn't happen. Nobody's seen that one. So that's okay. But referees, for me, mate, they're proven they're incompetent, mate. That, mate.
I'm trying. I've seen a still in that clip. Albert, I need to see that. For some reason, I think he blows earlier than that. I don't know what he done, but I need to check it out, mate. But I seen the barge, mate. Yeah.
Was it a
barge because it was a barge, wasn't it?
It was a barge, all right. It's a Stonewall penalty.
I'll send you to New York. I'll send you to now, and you can check it.
Yeah. Bob Gerran, you come, mate.
Well, I'm just listening to the boys, what they're saying. They're absolutely right. Look at VAR. I'm just of the opinion that...
Josh is 38, mate.
Well, I'm 76, and the Doug's lying sleeping under my zinner. No, you've seen the introduction in VAR. It's been in Scottish football long enough now, and you see who's on the receiving end there. And then again, many times you've had genuine goals chalked off. John Suter scored. You mentioned Suter there. They scored with a header against them in the first game of the season. And I didn't see what was wrong with it. Maybe his pubic hair blew in the wind. I don't know. I didn't see what was wrong with it. And to me, I'm of the opinion that this VAR is killing the game. And it's definitely an agenda against Rangers. I don't care who. I don't care what anybody says. I'll still say that. It's been proved the amount of decisions we've had against us. And it was body hand. You're not telling me Dijon Sterling meant to handle that ball. Never. No way. As soon as he goes to the microphone, you all can. As soon as any of the Scottish referees go to the microphone, out of the screen, boom, friendly kick. Right, even Stephen, between the old firm, that's me, that's myself done. That's hard. You're right, old beer. These Scottish referees are a joke. I mean, Colin was in Moscow United, and half of Moscow was going to kill him, and they had to get him to the airport as quick as they could. But that's the standard of refereeing we've got in this country, coupled with VAR. And I hate saying it, but we've just got to learn to live with it. Personally, I wouldn't play another game with VAR. I'd let the referees and the linesmen referee the game, officiate the game, just the way it used to be. But we're stuck with this. I think there's only one country got rid of it. I'm sure it's Sweden got rid of it. I wish we would follow suit and we would get rid of it and all. Because I'm just totally sick of it. It's killing football.
Cheers, mate. It's a penalty kick, Olber. It's a penalty kick.
Aye, all day long, mate. All day long. Not mentioned. Not a mention. The one
I've not seen this, Ox. Was it? Did somebody challenge Ruskan in the box?
Right, the last minute of the game, mate, after they scored the penalty, went up the park when he done his overhead kick. It wasn't near a bicycle kick. You know, and the guy just barged him in the back, mate. It's a foul. So a foul's a penalty in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Listen, Bob, good to speak to you, mate. Always a pleasure, mate.
Yeah. Aye.
Yeah,
always a
catch
pleasure.
You soon, brother. Right.
You'll catch you before the end of the week. All the best, boys. We'll see you later, eh? Bye-bye. And Mike New, remember, get on the Scunner.
On Scunner. Well,
Good night,
one of the guys is 38, another one's 83. Josh. Come on, Josh. Last word.
So I seen, I was laughing at Bob here. I seen that instance where we're asking anywhere else in the pitch, it's a free kick. So how is it not a penalty? It's corrupt to the core. But anyway, thanks very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure to talk to you other guys as well, and yourself. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Josh.
Oh, Davey.
Aye, Bob Yerra spot on with his Zimmer with a dog lying underneath it. I'm lying next to my window cleaner and she's eating all my mulled cheesers.
She's wagging her tail.
Hold on, you wagging your tail there then? And she's got a smile on her face, so that says I'm up to it. By the way, great show, man. Great show. That is, the sensible ones were saying, still all to play for, guys, and great chat tonight, and God bless the Gers, guys, and you all stay safe. Good night, folks.
See you later, pal.
Southside.
Just before we go, Rangers, I've got a thing up. North Ayrshire are he's from North Ayrshire, and they're trying to honour the Hall of Famer Jimmy Gordon. I know old Davy's still on his pensioners, and Bob they've got a few quid, but they're looking to raise some funds to get a plaque put up in Saltcoats. So Rangers Football Club's announced it. So if you've got a few spare shekels, I'm sure you could donate it and get the guy a plaque down in Saltcoats. Thanks for having us on, mate. It's all about opinions. We're all a wee bit disappointed after yesterday, but listen, we've got to keep the faith. Of course it is, and everybody's a football expert out there, you know, and everybody's that and this, but listen, we need to keep the faith, stick together, support the team to the end. If you heard Danny Rowe on the Saturday night at the Rangers rally, he was talking about the support being there for the team and how good the atmosphere can be, and we need to stick together. And he also said it's down to the players to make sure that they get the supporters in the stands roaring the team to victory. So it's down to the players now to get us out of this mess and try and hope they bring us success. Still a Scottish Cup and a league to play for, so it's not all lost yet. So we just need to keep ahead. But good to be on with yourself and Albert, and it's good to get a few callers on the night and get everybody's opinion, mate, and to everybody on the YouTube feed, thanks for joining us tonight. Appreciate it as always. And anybody else that's listening to the show tonight, thank them and all.
You having a go at me with the spare shekels, Biggie?
Nah, you got a few shekels and all, hiding under that bed.
Aye, just I got my. You must have seen my message in SAP.
I did.
Yes.
My bed's made of shekels.
I know, mate.
Right.
I know. And it's right up to the ceiling, mate.
Oh, aye. Piles of £20 and all that. I can knock the whole kick him out the way. You go, oh. Aye, good to be on with yourself in Southside. Enjoy the Bob, Josh and old Davy and Ross. Aye, a wee bit raw, mate. Wee bit raw, but wipe yourself down. It's no surrender, mate. Keep believing. Big Marvin says that. Keep believing. Don't give up the faith. There's no white flag in this house. Union Jack still flying high. No surrender, mate. No surrender.
It's no died. No died up. Aye. Right, okay. We're going to look at a couple of things tomorrow night. I just shout out anybody want to watch Old School Blue. He discovered a pub in Bedfordshire, which Alfie's Bar in Dumfries Street, Luton. Big Rangers friendly pub. And they don't know what they've done. Southside's moved Southside. Old School Blues moved in. So a shout out for Alfie's Bar in Luton. Big Rangers pub. Listen, thanks to Ross who come on, Josh, Bob Jer, old Davy. Good to hear from each and every one of them. Thanks to Old School Blue and Fox for doing the technicals. But the start of the night, all bear and Southside, it's never easy after I'm not saying a bad result, but a dramatic result. Thanks for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Oh!